When Dr. Kotler recommended genetic testing, we were really excited about the concept. The idea that we could identify trends, risks, and items that were very specific to my child versus just writing a set of prescriptions, not understanding how they interact with one another, how they metabolize, not as we know metabolism typically, but in the way that the medication metabolizes in our bodies. It seemed to me the safest, smartest, best approach, and we jumped at the opportunity.
Awesome. And then, if you
Dr. Kotler explained that with genetic testing, we would be able to identify unique risks, genetic risks, that are unique to our child.
I can say,
Additionally, the genetic testing would identify what medications would work and how in our child's body, as well as the way that they would interact with one another. Additionally, genetic testing would allow us to understand precisely how the medication metabolizes in our son's body. In addition, genetic testing allowed for us to understand precisely how medication would metabolize inside our child's body, specific to him, as well as how medications affect one another to make sure that we're safe. Something very unique about Dr. Kotler that we have not experienced elsewhere is the fact that we make decisions as a team. We talk about the different medications, how they metabolize, how they will affect and work together in symphony. We do not go into an office situation where she will simply talk at us, then write a script and send us on our way, and along the way tell us why we're doing something. We go through each medication one by one. We talk about pros, we talk about cons, we talk about the way that a particular proposed medication will metabolize in my child's body. Then also take a look at, if we consider it, how does it interact with, let's say, a different medication that might be considered or that he is currently taking. So there is a very concentrated team effort in how decisions get made. We explore options. It's never just, we're going to do this and here's a piece of paper and we'll see you next time. We always make plans for our next meeting. We always make plans to text if need be regarding how he's feeling, because this all matters to her. Dr. Kotler not only explains and educates us as a family about a particular medication, she tells us what to anticipate. How many of us have been to a doctor and as we leave they say, let me know if you have any problems. But then it's a Saturday or it's in the evening. Dr. Kotler is very direct, very clear. If there's an issue, I have her text number. I can reach out to her in a moment's time. So could Zach if he needed. So could our son if he needed to. We have our expectations managed around what to expect on the plus, as well as what to look for just in case before we ever leave the office. If we try a new medication, there is always a plan B and a plan C. We always leave with an action plan. We always know what to expect. And we always know that at any given moment, if we need Dr. Kotler, she'll answer her phone, she'll answer her text. We don't have to wait until a next scheduled appointment to communicate. And I don't mean communicate very briefly, I mean go deep. She is available and on top of it in the moment. If we start a new medication and our child's body is saying it's not quite right, we don't have to wait for a next appointment that could be many, many weeks away. We can reach out to her immediately. She can make adjustments immediately or talk to us about why something is starting to feel a certain way. But we never have to wait for that next appointment. It's obvious that I adore Dr. Kotler. I trust her implicitly. And one of the main reasons is we've had tremendous success. But how we got there is her unique and really specialized clinical experience in pediatrics, combined with understanding the science as well as the behavioral aspect of emotional well-being, because most doctors are in a single lane, and that's typical, what would be expected. Dr. Kotler has a great marriage of both the clinical as well as the behavioral health, and takes a look at the science at the same time. It's the most specialized practice I've ever encountered, and only wish I could be one of her patients. It's for all these reasons that I give my highest, strongest recommendation that every parent who has a need for their child, and you know if you need it, get in and see her. I couldn't possibly more strongly recommend Dr. Kotler.